The goal of a professional media salesperson is not to close one deal, but is to create deal flow. We need a number of deals coming in all the time, particularly in media, because most of the campaigns that run will end. So they're episodic. This campaign will run for a week or a month or 2 months, and then it will come to an end. So I'm always starting these very short, soon-to-end campaigns. In order for me to make a living doing this and create the relationships that I want for the rest of my career, I need to have a lot of deals coming in. Well, deals come from prospects. So I have this many prospects to end up with this number of deals. Most people think they have more prospects than they do because they confuse prospects with suspects. They think that everybody that they've spoken to, the salesperson has promised to get a proposal to, is a prospect. That's not the case. If I'm on the phone with somebody and at the end of the call the customer says, well, this is interesting, why don't you send me something? Okay, I'll send you something. And I agree to send them something, and that's the end of my agreement. Well, at the end of that call, is that a prospect? Well, if it really were a prospect, they would be more likely to buy than anyone else. In other words, they would have given us some evidence that they're more interested than the average person. Well, the strongest way to communicate that level of interest is to commit a certain amount of time. In other words, there's a relatively long list of people that get to the customer and get their pitch out. But there's a very relatively short list of salespeople who get invited back by appointment to speak more about that sale. Well, if you're on that short list, you're more likely interesting to the customer, and they're more likely going to buy from you. Well, we need a prospect base of those people, a prospect base filled with people who've spoken to us once, at least once, and now have agreed to spend more time with us, talk more. If my prospects have not committed more time to speak to me, if there is no next scheduled step, they are not as likely to buy, and they are not strong prospects, and you are not as likely to create the deal flow you need.